Hey, welcome to American Reversion. I'm Steve Smith. I want to talk about something a little bit different today. I had a whole stack of, both important and funny stuff. Some of the stuff is funny, and some of it is important. But I wanted to talk. Let me adjust this for a second. The afternoon sun is coming through the window and hitting me on the right side of the head. Um, had something kind of different that I want to talk about. Uh, and that is getting ready for what's coming. Something is potentially coming pretty hard pretty soon, so I wanted to talk about that, just give you a little, a few thoughts to think about, to kind of plan on, to get ready for, so you won't, be caught in the lurch, because it could be fairly challenging. If you want something funny, I'll start off with something funny. You're not going to believe this. And I didn't have to go to the news for it. My oldest son came home from high school, and he says there's a girl in his class, his grade, who identifies as a cat. And, that's not the funny part, although it's funny enough, or sad. She's organizing and trying to get, she's approaching the school administration to get litter boxes put in the girls' bathrooms. That's the world we live in. Somebody said, I don't know, it was my son, somebody said, well, if she's a cat, shouldn't they be in the girls and the boys? Because, whatever, just out in the hallways. Okay, that's the world we live in. Okay, talking about this convoy that's coming down. And usually this is the kind of thing that I talk about over on integrative preparedness, because it does have to do with preparedness. But, fighting for freedom, standing up for freedom, you have to be prepared to do that. And you have to be able to withstand, like we talked about the blessings of freedom. Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom, must, like men and women, undergo the fatigues of supporting it. And sometimes, thinking about the fatigues is not all glorious, not all standing up and making big speeches or going to war or going to battle or all that. Sometimes it's just fatiguing. It's the small things that you have to be able to do on a daily basis and keep on and keep on doing it. If we see this trucker convoy up there that is really developing hardcore in Canada, and good for you guys up there. The powers that be think that we can't do anything, and for the most part, we're a peaceful people. We don't really go to town until we are pushed to and sometimes past the brink. That could be discussed whether that's the right way to go about that or not. I'll leave that to you all to consider. But the truckers, they are doing something to bring the other side to an understanding. And how that goes, that's a different animal. That's political. But we see that also beginning here in the United States. So on top of what's already going on with inflation, I don't remember if I was talking about this on this channel or the other channel. We're already dealing with what they say is a 7.5% inflation rate. That's a bunch of hooey. It's more like 20%, because they don't figure in fuel and food in the inflationary numbers. Okay, because they don't want to have to admit that it's so. And it's like that all the time. It's nothing that this administration put in. Every administration has been sneaky about this. But they don't put those in, because those are the most volatile indicators, and they are volatile. I mean, we're already dealing with a lot of things that I see in the grocery store and you see in the grocery store. They're 25 to 40% higher than they were just a couple of months ago. Gas is 100% higher than it was 18 months ago. So that's already putting the bite on people. Now, if we have, and if you see what's happening with the car Assembly plants up north, those are shutting down. It all works together. I won't go through the whole litany of lists. You could probably make a list just like I could. The point is that with this slowdown, an already overstressed supply chain is going to be further stressed. Two things are going to happen with that. There are going to be more and more shortages, and things are going to get more and more expensive. You need to be prepared for this. This is all a part of doing your part for freedom, for your liberty, to be able to withstand this. Just like the truckers up there, have put themselves on the line. And I hear there's a big one that will be starting here in the United States in March. If we think that one up north is having an effect, just wait until the American truckers start doing this, and you go to the store. It's going to be like Soviet shopping. They are able to hold you over a barrel if you need what they have. And so that's the key, and that's the trick, not to need what they have. The whole lesson here is that this is the time. Even if you're not a preparedness-minded person, even if you're not a so-called prepper, you need to be one now. Because if you're not, you're going to be stuck. And you're going to be paying so much more for whatever you can get. And you may not be able to get the things that you normally want. And that means you're going to go to, and maybe you'll discover some things you like better. But for the most part, we live lives that we're used to. We get what we want because that's what we like. You may have to settle for some other things. And that's kind of living a subpar life compared to what you are. But even the ones you can get, the costs could be skyrocketing. They could be going so high, it could have a definite negative effect on you financially. I know a lot of people out there have lost their jobs. Kelly and I lost our jobs over this whole business. Fortunately, we have other income streams, and it's just been fine. In fact, to us, it's been a blessing. But it hasn't been a blessing yet financially for others. Hold on. If your heart's in the right place and you're following the will of God, it's going to be a blessing. So don't despair. But for now, a lot of people are feeling a financial crunch. I know that makes it more difficult when I say try to prepare, try to stockpile, try to build up your food stores as much as you can. If you're already stretched thin, I know that it's tough, but it's going to get a lot more expensive down the road. It's not getting cheaper. For those of you who do have a little bit of money that you can throw at this, or a lot of money you can throw at this, go out there and get everything you need for a year. If you can do it for 2, it's better. But usually people that have 2 or more years of supplies, those are people that started some time ago. If you're already one of those people, I suggest you pump it up, because I am one of those people and I'm pumping it up. Take a look at what's out there and try to get a year's worth of everything. That means food, and don't forget protein. It's not just beans and rice. Get the things that you eat. Most of those things are shelf stable for a year or more. Not fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that, but things that will sustain you. Good canned goods and jars and freeze meat and all that, and so that your quality of life does not deteriorate under the combination of inflation and supply chain problems. So stock that, and also, like I believe I said on the other channel, and if you're not particularly preparedness-minded and you aren't with me over on Integrative Preparedness, that would be a great place to go over there. I do have one on food. It's an old one, but you can find it. Just put in the search on, I think it's called The Next Step. Anyway, it's about prepping food, what to save, what to stock. And you can get some good information over there. But be prepared. This is really part of the fight. Being prepared and being able to be self-reliant, self-sustaining, means that you're not at the mercy of the system that is trying to break you and that you are trying to change. That's really what all of this, that's the foundation of resistance, is self-reliance. So think about that. And don't forget things. It's not just food. It's the ability to process water. If you have water problems, I always suggest a Berkey. But also medications, cleaning supplies, paper supplies, toothpaste, razors, shaving cream, soap, laundry detergent, all of those things. Try to get a year in, because you will never be sorry that you did. If things don't happen and they don't turn out quite as bad as they could, good. Then you have those things. It's going to save you a trip to the store. But I have a feeling that things are going to get, a lot worse than they are now. And I don't want you all to be caught up short, because if you don't have what you need, you have to go to the people who have what you need. Right? And we know who that is. And you don't want to have to go there. So kind of put on your preparedness cap on this one for those of you who really aren't preparedness minded. It's a good idea to be preparedness minded anyway, because preparedness is nothing but responsibility. It's the ultimate responsibility. It's just like any other kind of insurance that you have: car insurance, home insurance, homeowners, and life insurance and medical insurance. Have sustainability insurance, have food insurance and medical insurance and things like that. Anyway, pass this on to friends of yours that you think might be interested or might need a little direction. Also, I've put quite a few things over on the Patreon channel that are just exceptional. A lot of the news that's coming out of Canada. And why do I put that up? Because they are doing a heck of a job. Number one, they're standing up like everyone should. But they are really the example that we can follow. And if that starts here, we need to support our truckers just like the people up there are supporting their truckers, because the police are against them. I've put a lot of these videos over on the Patreon, and the link's down here. About the police taking their firewood, the police taking their fuel. I mean, that's unbelievable. This is nothing but state theft. It's not only, there's probably some stupid, rule, some law that allows them to do it, but it's immoral and it's unethical. And those cops up there should be ashamed of what they're, most of them, not all of them. I've also put a couple videos up over there of law enforcement and Canadian military giving their 2 cents about this, and one of them is one of the greatest speeches I've ever heard in my life by a Canadian Army major, and you ought to watch it. So I'm going to let it go with that. You all have a good day. Get out there and stock up. Remember to keep your fuel tanks full. Store a little extra fuel if you need, because fuel can be going up, and that can just if you're living too close to the edge of your money, that can hurt. And we've all been there, right? So don't let yourself get there. So anyway, you all have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow talking about more stuff. But I hope that you'll take this to heart and get in the things that you need. Remember that America needs a reversion. It needs you to be a part of it. But in order for you to be a part of it, you need to be prepared. You need to be self-reliant. You need to be self-sustaining, because if you're not, it's up to others to take care of you, and that's really not what you want to be about, okay? You all have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.